So Kiko Milano once again came out with a bunch of new makeup. We have a lot of new things for their regular line. We also have a few limited edition things that they came out with. And I just bought a bunch of their new stuff and we're gonna try it out in this video. So let's get into it. I'm already wearing eyeshadow and brows because I didn't get that. But we have a bunch of things here. For starters, Kiko came out with a new line of limited edition 3D Hydra lip glosses. This is like their most famous lip gloss. People love it. People really go nuts for this lip product. I have seen it myself in store, people running in and being like, do you still have this shade? So I got 3 of these shades and I'm gonna swatch them all on my lips for you. I already tried one other shade from the regular line from this lip gloss formula and I really liked it. So I was like, you know what, let's just try some of the limited edition shades. Let's just see what they are like, what the colors are like. And I think we're just gonna start with a little bit of a lip swatch for those. So the first shade that I have here is the 3D Hydra lip gloss in 43. So the actual names are not in the packaging or on the component of the lip gloss. The only thing that we always have with Kiko on their packaging is the numbers. I would love to know the actual names because I'm really like a names kind of person. I really remember my makeup by name. So I would love to see them doing that. But okay, let's get into this lip gloss. So these are the same scent as their regular line lip glosses. They smell like vanilla. They are very comfortable, not sticky, not too thick, not too thin. Really like this in-between formula that I'm usually really a fan of. This is a really nice shade. It's really like this cool toned, like almost pearly gloss to the lips. I really like these types of colors. For me, this just really works because I love kind of like a cool tone look. Now it maybe looks a little bit strange because I'm not wearing like my face makeup, but you get an idea of the shade and I really like this shade. It is kind of like this a microfine shimmer in it, but in a very sophisticated, very pretty, very glowy way. I think this would be a really nice one to top over other lipsticks, like nude lipsticks, but also to wear on its own. Yeah, I really like this one. Then we got the second shade that I got. This is 45, and I believe this is kind of like a rosy brown shade, meant to be like a rosy brown shade. When I swatched it, it seemed very pigmented, so I'm really curious to see how this looks on the lips. It's definitely not the type of gloss, the type of color of gloss that I have in my collection. It makes me think a little bit of the brown glazed donut, like chocolate glazed donut lips. I believe that was a thing. This kind of makes me think of that. Let's see what this actually looks like on the lips. By the way, if you hear something in the background, that is rain. It's raining all day today. So it's a really interesting kind of cool tone brown with a rosy undertone that does look a little bit metallic on the lips. It has a really nice glow once again. I feel like it looks a little bit less scary on the lips than it did in the swatch. I kind of like the mix of it kind of like meshing together with my lip color. I quite like that. I think this one with a little bit of a lip liner would look really nice, especially in the fall. Like I can see myself really wearing it with a little bit of a fall makeup look. It just has a slight metallicness to it. Nothing too frosty, but keep that in mind. I feel like more of the shades in this new range, in this limited edition range, look slightly frosty, but I do really like this shade. It's a little bit different, it's a little bit interesting, but there are so many shades in this line. It is actually amazing how many shades they have now. Like they really listen to the people. And then lastly, we have the shade 44, and this is such an interesting looking shade because it's kind of like this cool tone brown, but it's almost duochrome to more of a like mauve, and it has kind of like golden shimmer in it. There are so many like different colors in this shade. I felt like when I swatched it that this one was a little bit more sheer than the middle shade, but we're gonna see. I think this is such an interesting kind of like chocolatey shade. Very cool toned. I just put on a thin layer right now, but it looks really good. Like the more cooler, less rosy version of the other shade. I'm gonna put on a little more to see if I can build up the shade. So this is an extra layer. I actually really like this shade. I feel like it's pretty unique. I do feel like with this one and the rosy one, like the rosy brown one, I personally would wear them with a lip liner, and I think they would look more balanced on the face with a little bit more makeup. But the lightest shade, the 43, is really the type of shade that I would wear like on top of things, or even when I'm not really wearing any makeup. Like very simple looks would already look good with this one. So I think this one I'm gonna wear the most, but the other two shades are the more unique ones. Alright, let's move on to the next thing. I bought something a little random, but I just had a feeling, I just wanted to try something out. So I bought the Full Coverage Blurring Powder Foundation. And if you know me, then you know that I don't wear foundation, so I'm actually not planning to wear this as a foundation. This is actually the shade 080, and I believe this is one of the deepest shades. And my thought behind this was to use this as a bronzer. So I was recently watching a video by Laura Lee, and she was using a blurring foundation powder as a bronzer, and I thought I want to try that because I love adding a little bit of coverage on my cheeks. I love perfecting blurring bronzers on my cheeks, and I think that if this would work as a bronzer, then I could be really into that. I thought it would be a fun experiment to try, and more of these things that I have here feel a little bit experimental to me, but I just had a feeling like I can try out the formula, but I can try it out in a way that I would use it, because I'm just not really a foundation person, because I feel like so much can already be done with the right type of cheek products. I did go in a little bit heavy with the swatches. So in the swatch you will see like a heavy swatch and then a more subtle swatch. But I did discover that this is indeed a very pigmented product. So I am just going in once and let's see if that will actually work, because it was really pigmented and I kind of feel like maybe I got the wrong shade. Okay. This is already looking a bit muddy. I am immediately taking a clean brush to try and fix this. Okay, maybe this wasn't the right decision. Maybe I made a mistake. It's starting to look like a mistake. That was way too much. Okay. I am trying a different brush, and I've taken less on the brush to see if that maybe works. But maybe this just is too pigmented to be used as a bronzer. If it's really like a full coverage powder foundation. It almost seems to have some shimmer in it. There's definitely some glow. Okay, I feel like on this side, maybe it looks okay. It is very powdery in the pan as well. So let's try the other side again with that second brush. I took it off a little bit. Let's see what happens. It's just a bit hard to do what I would like to do with a bronzer with this product, because I feel like if I build it up a little bit so I get the coverage, then it will look muddy because it is too pigmented. So I'm gonna take a tiny bit on my forehead. It just goes on a little patchy, but I cannot really judge the product because I'm not using it the way it's intended to be used. Like, I am experimenting here and it's my own fault if it doesn't work out. Well, with this brush it's going better. It's better. Can I say much about this product now? I do not know. I feel like because it's not actually a bronzer, I kind of have to like try it with different brushes and try different ways to see if it will actually work the way I'm thinking. Okay, I'm gonna try and build it up a little bit. I might be making a mistake, but let's just see. I feel like the other brush has too much room for picking up the product, and then it will immediately pick up too much and it won't look good. But this is what the cheeks look like right now. It's really hard to say. Like, I see some shimmer on my cheeks as well. I don't know if this is doing what I had envisioned. Okay, let's forget about that experiment for a second and let's move on to the next product. So this is the Juicy Tint Lip and Cheeks Liquid Color by Kiko Milano, and this is shade 03, and it's kind of like this cherry red, but it has a little bit of a cooler undertone, like fuchsia type of shade. And you can use this on the lips and on the cheeks, and it has a stain to it. So that's also why I wanted to swatch the lip glosses first, because I want to try this on the lips and see how well the stain works. To me, it's a little bit of a product where I'm like, I don't know if it is for me, but I want to try it because I've never tried a product like this. So this is what the doe looks like, and I'm just gonna apply this on my lips. So watery. Right, this is so interesting because it's kind of like applying water and it feels super like wet, but it's kind of drying. And it tastes kind of like sour sweet. And it also has kind of like the sour sweet scent to it. The scent is not too strong. I do really like this type of shade. And I'm just gonna wait and see for a second what happens to this on my lips. The more I look at my skin, the more I actually quite like it. I just feel like I have to find a way for me to use this because it does look quite natural. It does look quite nice on the skin. I like the shade. So I am gonna experiment a little bit with that full coverage powder foundation for a bronzer. Okay, it's kind of setting down a little bit. I really like the look on the lips. It's really like this popsicle lip look. I've been thinking what I want to do because I have two blushes. I can use this as a blush, the lip and cheek tint, and then we also have the custom color in 01, the pH reacting blush. This is supposed to be a powder blush that reacts to your pH. I haven't really noticed anything when swatching it. I feel like the same as with the Beauty Roar liquid lipsticks, that it's a little bit of a buzzword that they use, but it doesn't really work, I think, with such pigmented products. And I think it's just gonna be a powder blush. So I do want to try it, but I feel like this is the more interesting formula. I want to see if this works on the cheeks. Like, how does this work? I've never tried a cheek stain, so I kind of just want to try this out and see if I can use a little bit of the other one on top. Whew. I hope this is gonna work out. I hope I'm not gonna mess up my makeup now. I am just gonna start slowly. It's also a bit hard to apply because it's so watery. Okay, let's see. I am using my blush brush. I hope this will properly blend out. But it's starting to look a little bit patchy, a little bit odd. Like it's lifting and it's just looking a bit like a blotch. Let's see if my finger can kind of fix this situation. No, it just looks like a stripe. Okay. You can definitely see the stripe of blush, and it's not the type of product that you can really put on your brush first. And now it's already dried down. Ooh, is there still something to save here? No, it doesn't blend anymore. Okay, I will have to take this off because I just can't. But I'm gonna try it on the other side, and I'm gonna try to blend it with my finger. But I hate blending liquid blushes with my finger. But I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna do it for this blush. I'm gonna try it. Maybe it will work. I feel like it dries so fast, and then you have these kind of like blotches. Okay, it is better. You just have to be so quickly. It's definitely not a foolproof product. Alright, this side definitely looks better. Does it look good enough? I don't know. Still looks a little blotchy to me. Still looks a little bit unblended. Once again, trying to save this cheek. Yeah, I don't know. I like the lip look much better. It just looks better. I'm gonna add a little bit more to the other cheek because I feel like now they're uneven. Not that they look amazing, but I'm just trying to make this work. I feel like maybe I can, yeah, make this work. But I am just not the type of person that likes applying products on my cheeks with my fingers. I feel like it just doesn't cover the area. Okay, now it's looking worse. Alright, now we have a good excuse to take off the cheeks and try the pH reacting blush. I'll be right back and I will be taking this off because it is not working today. Okay, so I didn't take it off perfectly. Like there's still a little bit of the stained blush left, but I feel like it's not really gonna like change a lot. I just don't want to like reapply my whole like SPF and day cream situation. We have this blush, but I think I want to first apply the Glow Up Face and Body Highlighter by Kiko. This is in a gigantic packaging. Like, this is heavy, this is weighty. This is shade 01. It's the liquid highlighter. This is 30 milliliters and it's supposed to be something for your body as well. It has a pump like this and it does pump out quite a bit, but I'm gonna try to pump out just a little bit. By the way, my finger is so stained. I'm gonna see if I can pump out just a little bit and apply this to my cheekbones. Alright, so it's quite a bit, so I'm gonna put a little bit on my hand. It's a lot. And I'm gonna start applying it here. I think the packaging is more for the body than for the face, because it's a lot that you get. Okay, it's quite easy to blend out. I'm gonna apply a little bit over here. It seems a bit like a golden champagne. It doesn't really have any other undertone to it. The other shade that they have two shades. The other one is more of a, I would say, bronze, like shimmery bronze. It is drying down quite quickly, but it's not that you don't have any time to manipulate it, but you have to focus a bit. It's not like a balmy product where you can just do whatever you feel like. So this is the glow. My cheeks are looking a little messy, but I feel like it's gonna come together when I put on the blush. I quite like it, but I do have a lot left on my hand. Like, if you don't use this for your body as well, it's really hard to dose it. Maybe I can take a little bit on a pencil brush and put it in my inner corners. I do wish that it was possible to do like a little bit, but I do like the look on the cheeks. It's a nice cream highlighter. I think it's also gonna look nice on the body, but I'm not really like a body makeup kind of person a lot of the time. But maybe it could also be used a little bit as like a makeup base to put underneath everything, because it doesn't look metallic. It doesn't look too crazy. Maybe it could be used also a little bit like the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Face Filter, something like that. It could be used kind of like that type of product. So let's just move on and apply the blush. It is very pigmented, very powdery. So I'm just dipping in once and let's see what happens. And let's see if we see any color changing. I don't know if there will be any, honestly. Alright, it is a very pigmented blush. It's a nice shade. It's a matte blush. I don't know if this is gonna be like my ultimate new favorite. I also bought it more of as like a pH reacting debunk situation. Like, I want to show you what actually happens, because I can imagine that people will be a little bit confused. Okay, don't judge these cheeks too harshly. I have been trying out different things and now it looks a little strange. Just a little. Okay, so let's not look at the application too closely of this blush, because it's looking a little crazy, but I have been like applying things, taking things off. I'm not gonna look at that too much. I do think that it didn't really change color. I just don't get why they keep calling things pH activated. It's unnecessary and it's not true. Just don't do that. And then lastly, we have the Freezing Dew Fresh Effect Face Fixing Mist. And this is supposed to set and refresh your makeup. It has notes of roast. This smells like a beef roast, you know, like a lot of makeup does. So this smells like a rose and it doesn't say much else. So we're just gonna be trying this out. I already sprayed it a couple times and it seemed fine. The scent is nothing crazy. Like, it doesn't smell a lot like rose, just very, very subtle. It does add a glow. It does add quite a glow. I do feel like it meshed everything together a little bit more. That looked a little blotchy, but it's definitely a glowy spray. I like the spritzer. That is good. It's not too scented. It is, I guess maybe it's slightly sticky. I'll have to see if it does anything for my makeup throughout the rest of the day. It just seems like a pretty fine spray to me. Just a nice spray, nothing crazy. And then this is actually gonna be the finished look. In the end, I think it all came together quite nicely, but it took some time to get there. It was a little bit of a struggle to get there, and let's just quickly go over the products and how I feel about them. First up, the full coverage blurring powder foundation. Of course, this is not supposed to be a bronzer, so I'm not gonna judge it too harshly, but I feel like I want to try it out a little bit more to see if I can actually use it that way. Like, in the end, I thought it looked pretty cute. It does seem to have a little bit of shimmer or glow in it, which is interesting. It doesn't say if it is supposed to be like matte or glowy or what it's supposed to be. This is a product that's a little bit hard to judge at this point. Then we have the lip glosses in the 3 shades that I swatched. I think these look really cute. It's just a matter of pick the shade that you like. Pick the shade that appeals to you the most. I think they did some really interesting shades, and I can really see myself wearing these a bunch. Like, this is a great formula. Kiko Milano does some great lip formulas. They really know how to do lip glosses, lipsticks, liquid lipsticks. So I was already thinking like these were going to be amazing, but I just wanted to show you some of the new options. Then we also have the Juicy Tint lips and cheeks. I don't like it so far for the cheeks. Maybe I can still figure something out, but it just seems like too much of a hassle for me to try to use this on the cheeks. But I do really like it on the lips. It feels hydrating, it feels comfortable, it goes on like really watery but still pretty easily, and it just looks very nice at this point. Let's see. And it doesn't transfer, like there's no transfer here. Okay, this is a really interesting lip product. It's not sticky, it's not drying, it feels really nice, it looks really nice. I really like the shade. Once again, this was 03. I don't really know what the other ones were, but this is so cute, and just I think it's gonna be pretty long wearing. I have to update you on that. I'm gonna update you on all of these products, but I'm gonna be telling you how long this actually wears. Then we have the Glow Up Face and Body Highlighter. I really like how this made my skin look. Like, it looks amazing. It is just the fact that you can't really get out just a little bit. Like, maybe I can just screw this off and then just take a little bit for the face, because I do like it, but it's a little bit of a waste of product with the pump. Like, the options that you have with the pump, you can't really like get less. I will see if I try it on my body. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but it dries down completely. Well, yeah, it dries down completely. It's just that this mist made it a little bit more dewy again, but it dries down completely. It looks really nice. I really like it on the skin. Maybe it could be used as a little bit of a glowy primer. I am just gonna test it out. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna test everything and let you know. And then we have the Custom Color PH blush. I think it's a nice blush. I didn't do the best application, but I think it's gonna be a nice blush, but it's not pH reacting. There's nothing that special about it. I feel like they are just hyping this up a little bit with the buzzword pH. They maybe think that everybody's gonna be like, oh, pH, how will it work? I want to try it out. And they got me with that as well, but I don't think it really works. And then we have the mist. As I said, I think it's a nice mist. It has a nice spray. It really melted everything together on my face. And then that's gonna be everything. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, and let me know if you are picking up anything from the new Kiko releases. And then I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!